Okay, so a rant about badgers. Well, not a rant, a discussion about badgers. I just said in my latest vlog that I would put a discussion about badgers up. So I think that's what I'll do. Because badgers are a sensitive subject right now in Britain. Or at least they have been recently. From December-ish 2012. And before that, as you may or may not know, we have had a lot of cullings of badgers in the past. Lots and lots of cullings. Because farmers are all like, oh, there will be badgers giving my cows tuberculosis, making me kill them all. And so they go around and shoot the badgers with their little guns. But due to the Animal Welfare Act and the Protection of Badgers Act, or was it Protection of Wild Mammals Act? It was two pieces of legislation. I know that much. Due to these acts, the government has to agree to any cullings that are going to occur, the damage or willful harm of property of badger setts, which is their homes. If you didn't know, badgers sort of live in burrows called setts. Also, so any damage to the setts is prohibited, and any willful harm to badgers, or if you go out and just randomly beat a badger to death with a stick, which you wouldn't do, because badgers are awesome, then you're gonna get in trouble. No, I always put it. But the government can, of course, organise culls. Now, these culls are where, I guess you'll know what happens, but if you don't, a cull is where not everyone in there, but they hire a bunch of people in an area, and they get them to go around and kill all the badgers that they can find. They essentially roam around the countryside looking for badger setts and go around and kill them. Okay, so that's really inhumane. That's really bad. But don't get me confused with one of these animal rights activists. I'm not like that. I'm not the same. If it was proven that this worked, then I'd be like, okay, if badger culls are the only way to do it, then badger culls are the only way to do it, because it's scientifically proven. But it's not proven. In fact, it's actually proven that badger culling doesn't help. Minor area. If you're going to cull a large area, say, for it to be effective, you would have to cull the entire of Britain, and you would have to cull 80% of the badger population to reduce the tuberculosis spread enough. But at the moment, they're just doing sort of selective area culls, or they were doing, should I say, which means that scientists actually found that this just spread the badass badgers. This just spread the badger population out. So instead of getting the result they wanted, they were finding that badgers who would have been culled before were migrating out of the culled area and going to infect more cattle that was just outside. And then when the badger population out there grew big enough, they'd move back in. Their offspring would move back in. So, it wasn't really helping the situation. What can you do? So, culling does not work on badgers. Just doesn't. Unless you're going to cull 80% of them in Britain. However, there was some debate a while back because farmers were once again pushing for another cull on the badger population. But the government said, whoa, wait, stop, because of all the evidence that it doesn't work. So instead of this, they're trying out vaccines. In Wales, around December time, I believe, they decided to implement trials of a vaccine on badgers in Wales. They inoculated about 40% of badgers in an area in Wales, and they were continuing to do so as a trial to mean that we wouldn't have to kill them anymore, because badgers are a protected species. So don't think that you can go out and hurt a badger without getting into trouble, because they are protected. For good reason. If you hadn't noticed, actually, the WWF, not the World Wrestling Federation, the World Wildlife Federation or Foundation, World Wildlife Foundation. That sounds right. But their logo is of a panda. Now, a badger is sort of a flagship species, I guess, because they're cute. But do you know why the panda is, like, there? People probably think it's for conservation and they mostly work on saving pandas, but that's not true. World Wildlife Foundation actually works on a lot of animals, but they use a panda to get funding. That's what they are there for. They're a flagship species. They're a species that everyone can identify with conservation. Everyone loves pandas. I don't know why, because they suck. They just suck. They stopped eating meat and they started to suck. Bamboo. Anyway, yeah, badgers. So yeah, the trials I assume have went well, because I haven't heard any news for badger cull recently. So yeah, thumbs up to that. Good job, badgers. Good job, Wales. Actually, good job, Wales government, for doing that and having the initiative. Because otherwise, we'd just still be shooting them and having no effect. So anyway, that was a talk about badgers. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Have a nice day.